Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am really excited for the next few weeks of videos because I am coming at you with some really great curriculum reviews. This is the time of year when all of us homeschool moms are trying to choose what we're going to be using for curriculum for the coming year. And I find curriculum reviews to be really, really helpful in making my choices. And so I have some really good suggestions for you guys coming up in the next few weeks. And today I'm going to share with you guys about a resource that has been in our home and our homeschool for pretty much the entire time that we've been homeschooling for the past 16 years, and that is No Sweat Nature Study. No Sweat Nature Study has not always been in kind of the form that it is today, but we have been using Cindy West's Nature Guides, Nature Studies in some capacity for the entirety of our homeschool year or homeschool years. And so what I'm going to share today is 5 reasons why we love No Sweat Nature Study and why it's impacted our family and why it's been so useful in our homeschool for all of these years. So let's get started. I'm going to give you 5 reasons why we love No Sweat Nature Study. Reason number 1, it is a great alternative to science. If you are maybe more of a history-minded mom and maybe history comes more easily for you, or literature or something like that, and you're not so into the sciences as much, there are so many ways that you can do science in your homeschool without sitting down with an actual science textbook. We like the science textbooks too, but on those years where it's been difficult to get all of the subjects in that I want my kids to be learning about, the No Sweat Nature Studies have been clutch because they're super science heavy. They're nature studies for sure. And so you're looking at nature, you're looking at God's creation, and you are going out and studying things in nature. But also, each lesson includes a supplemental packet of, book ideas and things like that, and just to really dive into the science part of whatever it is that you're studying. So when you subscribe to No Sweat Nature Study, you are getting 2 live lessons a month. And so each of those live lessons comes with a supplemental packet, and you can, there's lots of different ideas and book suggestions and all the things in them. But then the lessons themselves are also quite science heavy. Miss Cindy, she gets into the weeds with all of these topics. So you'll be sketching in your nature journal, you'll be looking up science terms, you'll be learning about all kinds of things that you maybe wouldn't have even thought to study. And so that leads you to lots of different rabbit trails as well as you study some of these things that you're like, oh, this is really interesting. You're studying maybe a type of fish, and then you can study deeper into lakes and rivers and all of that. And so it's very science heavy. So I would definitely say that it could totally just take the place of a science curriculum if you feel like, I don't know how I'm going to actually do all of this year. You don't have to. You could definitely just sign up for No Sweat Nature Study and have that be your science for the year. And we have definitely done that, and my kids have learned a ton from doing those classes. All right, the second thing that I absolutely love about No Sweat Nature Study classes is they are building a beautiful nature journal. I don't know about you, but you see in these books of, nature study gurus where they have created, these beautiful nature journals with beautiful sketches and watercolors and all the things. I love that. The practical side of it, it's a little bit hard to do, and it's also a little bit hard to teach. Like, if you don't know how to draw, how are you going to teach your kids to draw? Somehow Miss Cindy does these amazing journal entries with your kids every single lesson. So when your kid does a lesson, they will be also doing a nature journal entry in each lesson. So sometimes they are drawing the parts of a starfish, or they're drawing a landform of some sort, and then they're labeling the parts. So all of these things are just great skills for your kids to do along with the lessons. And it also is something that doesn't come naturally to me to be able to teach my kids how to draw and do something like that. And Cindy makes it very clear in the videos that, you know, you don't have to be an amazing artist to be able to make a beautiful journal entry. And so I really appreciate that too. It's very low pressure for your kids. And as my kids have done these nature classes, they have built beautiful nature journals. We don't start a new one every year. We just continue adding to it. So you can very easily see the progression of their skills in their pages of their drawing, in the pages of their nature journals. Third thing that I absolutely love about No Sweat Nature Studies is that it is whole family learning. If you followed me for long, you know that I love to get everybody involved as much as possible. The less I'm teaching, you know, this child this subject and this child that subject, the more I can just combine everybody together, it makes my life so much easier. And it also, I feel like, is really good for your family culture. It's if you're all studying the same thing, you can all be talking about the same thing, right? So you do this nature journal or this nature lesson with Miss Cindy, and then you're out and about in nature and you're like, hey, look, it's an acorn and look at it has all of the parts. And anyway, so they can just really have that connection because they're doing the lessons together, which I think is really, really fun. So whole family learning all the way. I absolutely love that. The fourth thing that I love about No Sweat Nature Studies is the video library. The video library is expansive. It is incredible. There are, dozens and dozens and dozens of the past nature lessons, all included in the video library. So if you cannot join for the live class, which actually we can't very often because we have other engagements on the days that they're usually live, you can just pick and choose the subjects that you want to study, and you can just schedule those into your day as they work out. And so that's what we do. And you can just go back in the library and find dozens of topics. There are landforms. There's, tons of different animals, birds, fish, weather, different types of weather. And then there's also special ones too. So if it's fall, you can do the one on, pumpkins or bats or whatever, flying creatures of the night, that kind of thing. So I love the video library because it's just super easy to be able to teach your kids what's interesting them in the moment, change it up for the season or the month, whatever it is. You can try to incorporate it with other subjects that you're doing as well, if that applies. And it's such an amazing tool, just a huge wealth of resources in the video library. The fifth and final thing that I absolutely love about No Sweat Nature Study is the flexibility that you have within the membership and the lesson planning. So you can go at your own pace. You don't have to log in live. If you want to watch the replay, you can watch the replay. If you don't want to keep up with the live classes, you don't have to. You can, like I said, go and search in the video library if you want to do that, or you can make it a part of your lesson planning, and every Tuesday afternoon at the certain time you can log in and you can watch the live lesson and be on your way. It is extremely flexible, which I can't use things that aren't flexible in our homeschool. We just have way too many moving parts, and I like to have wiggle room in my schedule to do spontaneous things if we want to. I like to switch things up as needed. Season by season, it feels a little bit different in our homeschool. In the fall, we're kind of always like raring to go, and we want to hit the ground running and get started, and kind of like we have a lot of energy right at that time of year. But then in the wintertime, it does feel like we're kind of pulling back a little bit. We want to be more cozy and read, and life is a little bit slower, not as chaotic. And then in the spring, we kind of ramp up again because, number one, we're kind of like getting tired towards the end of our school year. Plus, it's getting nicer outside and we don't want to be inside anymore. And so it just feels a little bit different for each term that we homeschool. And so we want to kind of be able to adjust for those seasons and for those terms. this is a curriculum that is extremely flexible for the homeschool mom that doesn't have, September to May, every single day is the same, which I don't think many of us are. And so I love that you can really tailor it to fit your needs. And I just absolutely love that. I can't really work with homeschool curriculum that is very rigid and you can't miss a lesson or you're behind, and it's too much for me. So I love the flexibility. These are the 5 things that I love about No Sweat Nature Study. I could probably name 10 more things. I absolutely love it. I would definitely suggest checking this out. The link is below. Let me know in the comments if you have used No Sweat Nature Studies or if you have any more questions, and I'll see if I can answer them for you below or direct you to somebody that can. And then also below, I have a full list of all the things that we're using for our upcoming school year, and you can check that out, and I will see you in the next video.